Hey everyone, it's Paul and Seth, not Seth and Paul, for the Everything Money channel. Paul, right now, uses the whiteboard and shows how a simple investment of $25K per year can generate a gajillion dollars in retirement by using your money, putting into real estate, and getting amazing returns. He'll show you how right now on the Everything Money channel. Let's go right now.
Brought to you by Coke Zero.
It's not brought to you by Coke Zero. Let's go, boys. Paul, the world is going crazy with stock market. Of course, we always talk about Tesla. They split yesterday. Most of my friends who are, I think, smart people, Paul, they still just simply see the stock price. They're fired up that it's split. And I can understand. I can understand if you wanted a bit of Tesla at $2,200, you can't afford it. And now at $400, sure, I'd love to get into this company for whatever reason. But let's talk about real estate. When is I want you to discuss really, if I put, how do I start putting money into real estate? What can I make off of it? What can this grow into? You know, you've always said that the wealthiest people in the world, they all own real estate.
Yep.
So the question is why? Some people can't figure out the numbers. They sort of know they need to get in real estate. They don't know if they're ever ready. So let's talk about that. Right now on the screen, I'm going to put up a photo of me from a small child. Now, this photo is adorable, Paul.
I don't see it, but I already know it's adorable.
This portly kid was slaying the women. Absolutely not, actually. But if you can't like this photo and this video, there's something wrong with you. Go, Paul. Like the video. Appreciate it.
So, stocks and real estate both have their value and their benefits. Stocks benefits very liquid. You can sell it tomorrow. You're buying into companies that have higher potential, growth potential, et cetera.
Yeah.
Real estate benefit is it's very tangible. It's in your backyard, et cetera. So there's always the benefits.
It always seems like somebody's dad always owns a couple properties.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
It's just always like that.
It really is. Like, oh, my dad has 18 units.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
So how does it get to that point?
Now, one of the things we always talk about is investing $25,000 a year into real estate, and it can make you millions of dollars.
Now, how much do I need to make at my job?
I don't know. The bottom line is, can you save $25,000 a year?
I don't know. That's a lot. It seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot, but at the same time, you know.
You're probably talking to people that make over $150,000, right?
Okay, let's call it $12,500 a year then. Let's cut it in half. Buy a $50,000 property every year. I don't know. Okay. My whole point is, I don't, you know, the other thing is if somebody's 22 and looking at this, they're like, oh my God, but let's assume you start at 35 in this. So you're going to go get your career going. You're going to be 35, making 100, 150 a year, maybe 200. You can save $25,000 a year on that, right?
Okay.
So let's say you buy a $100,000 property. We're going to go into how much return you can make per year from it, and from there determine what that can mean for retirement if you keep doing it over and over.
Okay.
So you buy a $100,000 property.
Mm-hmm.
What's that going to make per year if you paid cash?
This goes to cap rate, right?
Cap rate.
You always say 7%.
Like around 7%. So what does that mean in profit every single year?
$7,000.
$7,000. Great. So if you buy a $100,000 property, you should be able to make about $7,000 a year in cash flow if you paid cash for it. But we're going to take a loan on it. And let's say you put $25,000 down.
25%.
How much are you buying?
I'm sorry? What am I buying?
Borrowing.
75, of course.
So if you're going to borrow $75,000.
This is going to go up. The cap rate's going to go up because I'm not paying as much.
The cap rate is not based on any of that. The cap rate's always based on the purchase price and your profit. Once you borrow, cap rate's still going to be this, no matter what your debt level is.
Okay.
That's a great point to bring up, though. Okay, when you borrow $75,000, what's your mortgage payment going to be every month on pretty much? Like, what's the interest rate they're going to charge you for investment property?
Call it 5, right? Do you
let's
call
go
it 5?
high. I think it's high right now.
Okay.
But let's call it
4?
Let's call it, 4.5. Let's be in the middle, okay? So I'm going to do my trusty, brilliant calculator, and I'm going to tell you on a 30-year mortgage to the 360 negative.
This is riveting footage here, folks.
197.36.
Look at this. Look at him go.
So your payment every single month is going to be $380 a month.
Okay. This is after putting 25 down.
Yep. $380 a month. Okay. So you have your $7,000, and now you're paying $380 a month times 12. What is that? What is $380 a month times 12? $45.60?
Yes.
Okay. So Now you're left with 4560 in cash flow. Right?
No. You're left with 2440.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry.
2440 left.
2440 left. What'd you put down?
25.
So what's your cash on cash return? And cash on cash return is
1%?
2440.
Oh, wow. 10%.
Yes.
Oh, wow,
10%. It's 2440 divided by your down payment. It's about 9-point-some%. Let's just call it 10%. But don't forget, you also paid down some of your principal here. That's still part of your profit. At 4.5% on 75, what's 4.5% times 75,000? That's your interest rate times how much you borrowed for the first year.
3,000.
So you paid 4,800 in 4,500 in interest, right?
Yeah.
In payments, I mean.
Yes.
And of that, 3,000 was interest. So you had $1,800 in profit on that. So remember, when you pay down your loan, you have a principal portion and an interest portion, right?
In the early parts, you're paying a lot of interest first.
Yes. The principal portion is considered profit because you can't deduct that.
Profit, okay.
So you have to add that profit into your cash flow for your total return on the deal. So 2440 plus 1,800 is 4240. Right?
I hope.
So 4240 divided by your $25,000 down payment. What does that return? What is that?
16.9.
16.9%. We'll call it 17%. We also did forget one thing. Your property also went up in value by 3%.
I was going to bring that up.
Over a long period of time, it'll go up in value by 3%. So on 100 grand, what's 3% property value?
$3,000.
Okay. So now you have 4240 plus $3,000 in principal in property appreciation divided by your 25,000. So remember, to break it down, your 4240 was 2440 in cash flow plus 1,800
off the principal.
In principal when you paid down your mortgage.
Plus 3,000 in appreciation.
And now you're adding 3,000 appreciation. It's 7240 off 25 grand.
28.9.
Guys, 29% return by investing. Now let's say you're a moron.
I'm close.
Let's cut this mamma jamma in half.
15%.
Let's call it from taxes, everything, your income taxes, you making mistakes. Let's cut it down to 15%. I just want to be conservative because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I want you to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to pay my taxes. It's going to be about a third.
I've always thought you say conservative weird.
Conservative? Do I?
Don, he always says conservative instead of
Conservative?
conservative, but either way, keep going. I cut you off.
Conservative. I do say conservative. You're right.
It's been years, but you keep saying conservative.
Wow.
It's really funny.
I say liberal, too.
You do?
No.
Smash that like button, subscribe if you love what Paul's saying. Paul,
I like the way Paul says conservative.
Paul, I've been talking with you 3 times a day for years now.
I've showed you this.
Is blowing my mind. Still,
I've showed you
though.
this.
To see the real numbers, though, is really
But
blowing my mind.
it isn't impressive. When you see the real numbers, you sit there and go, holy shit, I can make 29%. But again, you're going to have taxes. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have your errors. Let's just call it 15%. That might sound, Paul, how are you going from 29 to 15? Hey, the tax man wants their money. That's going to be a third of that. Right? Then you're down to 20% right there. And then you have to pay you have your mistakes, call it another 25. So you're down to 15%. Still pretty good though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to make 15% per year after taxes. Roughly. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what does the stock market do every year after taxes?
10%?
After taxes. So the stock market does. So real estate is here. Stocks here. Stocks do 10% a year before taxes. So let's call it 7% a year after. That's over double. You're going to get double, 15 versus 7. Now, how does that matter in the long run? Okay, let's say you take the $25,000.
Okay, wow, this is...
Now, this is where it gets very...
frothy.
Frothy. $25,000 a year. For 30 years. Okay, let's go real estate.
Okay.
Let's go stocks first.
Stocks.
Versus real estate. Okay, now do you want me to show you the stupid equation?
Sure.
Okay, 25,000 times 1.07, and the 1.07 is 1 plus a 7% return after taxes to the power of 30 minus 1 divided by 0.07.
Okay.
This equals $2.4 million. Not bad. 30 years. So if you start at the age of 35 and go to 65, you save 25 grand a year, put it in stocks. After taxes, you'll end up with about 2.4 million.
Okay.
Okay. Not bad, right?
What age are we starting?
35.
Okay. 30 years.
65.
Got
So
it.
30 years. Let's do the same thing, but with real estate over those 30 years.
Oh boy.
Now, 25,000. Now my return is 1.15. It's a 15% after tax to the 30th minus 1 divided by 0.15. Now what's that? What do you think the number is versus 2.4 million?
Well, it's double, over double, right? So
The return is double.
It's
They're
at
like
least
from
going to
7
be
to 15.
4.8 plus compounding interest. What are we talking? $6 million or something? What is this? That's a 10. $10 million.
Pretty much $11 million.
This is a $25,000 deal every year.
Every year. So figure yourself out if you're in your 20s and early 30s. And if you're 40, start. If you're 40, the whole point is it's still a better return.
Yeah, massively.
Massively better return. And you have tax benefits from this. This is 15%. Yeah, it's still going to end up being about a third in taxes, but you're going to get tax benefits on your other income. I'm not going to get into that right now. But this is huge. This is huge. Even if you paid no taxes here, you're going to be at like $4 or $5 million bucks. Paying no taxes here.
I see.
There's no way you're not going to pay no taxes. You have to pay the tax man eventually, right? So that's how big this gain is for real estate. Does that mean I think you should put all your money in real estate? No. There's still going to be people who go, Paul, I'm just too busy. I have a job I have to travel for. Okay, whatever it is. But the whole point is, this is the benefit of real estate. You can go generate off 25 grand an 8-figure net worth just off your real estate portfolio. So when you're 65, you're ready to retire, you go, you know what? I'd rather just, by the way, your check is going to be way higher than 10.9. You're probably going to be more like 12 or 13 or 14, you got to pay the tax man. This is after taxes still. And you can go pay that tax bill. And now you have $11 million. Seth, could you live a good lifestyle at the age of 65 off $11 million bucks?
I like nice things, Paul. Steaks and cars.
I know. You do. You do.
You do.
You do. So I'm looking at this thing. This is how you make the money. And the funny thing is, though, Seth, when you start at 35 or 55, this number is going to be like $3 million, $4 million. It jumps up that quickly.
Yeah.
So you just got to be patient. But if you just do one deal a year at $100,000 and put 25 grand down, this is what it could become. Now, that doesn't mean you become a slumlord and you ignore the property and let it go to shit. You still have to be a responsible owner. But the point is, if you are responsible, one of the benefits of stocks versus real estate, how much work does stocks take?
Nothing.
0. You buy an ETF, you're done. How much work does real estate take?
A ton.
A lot. But my question is, are you willing to do a little extra work to make 4 times the money after tax? You have to ask yourself that question. Some people might say no. I'm fine with that because it's a lot of work up front. So up front, you're not making as big money. You're like, oh, sweet, I made $2,000 more this year. Great, awesome, right?
Yeah.
But here, it matters. In the long run, it matters. So if your mentality is long run, you need to be doing some sort of real estate. It's only 25 grand. Everybody who makes $100,000 a year can figure out a way to save 25 grand. It might sacrifice your lifestyle, but you got to figure out, is it worth it for me to have this lifestyle later? The age of 65 to 95, you're going to live quite the lifestyle. I dropped that pen.
Hey, drop the mic. Thank you for joining us on the Everything Money channel. Smash that like button. If you're intrigued and you want help, Paul is available.
And also, ask the questions below if this is confusing. Because there are going to be, you're going to watch this and go, I don't get this. Or you might disagree with me. Great, come at me, dog, as they say. Like, I don't care. Just ask the question, be respectful about it. We've had some great questions. A lot of people are being very respectful. I answer them very quickly. Even Don's like, man, I'm impressed how fast you answer them. Obviously, I mean, we have some videos with like 120 views and we'll have like 30 comments. You know what I mean? So the comment sections are very good. But this is very important because people don't believe this when I first show it to them. They're like, there's no way these numbers are correct. This is the equation. This is the equation, kids. You ask your accountant about this equation, he has no idea what it is. You ask your financial advisor, he just goes, what's math? He doesn't even know.
Right.
This is the equation for a future value of an annuity. $25,000 is the annuity. Not the annuity in the sense of the insurance product. This is what it is. And it's going to be $11 million after taxes. I'm telling you right now. So especially for the young, and if you're older, it's never too late to start. If you're 50, trust me when I say you're going to live to 95. If you're healthy, you're going to live to 95, 100. So get started now. Maybe you're 50 and you make even more money and you have some money sitting on the sidelines. Invest $50,000 a year. Catch up. Can I do those numbers real quick? Or should I not?
If you want to, go ahead.
No, I won't do it. The bottom line is you have the time. You're still young enough to make 15% versus 7% after taxes. You're still young enough.
Thanks for joining us on the Everything Money channel. Subscribe.
50?
Oh, this is my second cold close here.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Paul.
I'll even do it for just 15 years on the 50.
Here we go. This is bonus footage from the Everything Money channel after I try to close this thing down twice. I can't keep coming up with these closes all the time, boys. This is difficult stuff over here. Sitting here like a dope.
Age 50
Go.
to age 65. I'm just going to do age 50 to age 65. Age 50 to age 65. 15 years, that's it. After taxes, $1.2 million.
Starting at age 50?
Starting at age 50, just going for 15 years.
That's 11 years for me.
15 years, you're investing $375,000 or something like that, and you're still getting $1.2 million after taxes on that.
Still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money.
You can live fine that way.
And if all those years you were investing in 25 grand into stocks, now you add it into there, you're at 3.6 million bucks.
Incredible.
That's it.
Are we done now?
We're done.
Thanks for joining us on the Everything Money channel. Like and subscribe. See you guys.